Yesterday we cooked some rye berries on top of the stove, brought them to a boil and let them simmer for an hour. We do that to release the endospores so that later on they don't contaminate. Now we've got the pressure cooker inside of the lab and we're going to take the lid off. When we release the pressure, the vacuum is broken and the air that goes into this is now sterile. And there's our jars that have been pressure cooked for a couple hours at 215 degrees, steam generated pressures. And we're unwrapping our petri dishes, setting them in front of the flow hood. Next, we're going to slice the petri dishes into wedges. This particular dish has got yellow oyster spawn that's grown out quite well. We're going to make 6 slices, and we're using a sterilized scalpel that's been left in the flame of an alcohol lamp. Keegan's counting them out, making sure he's got 6. And this is the transfer. This is where we're working on our lab techniques, trying to not touch anything, quickly closing the lid to the rye berries, and we're dropping in the mycelial growth. Sometimes we have to shake it to get it in there to make contact with the grains. I think we've got 18 jars that we've done today in this process. Sterilizing the scalpel, opening a new petri dish, keeping it right in front of the laminar flow hood so the air is clean and sterile. Really a dense growth of mycelium. This is the finest mycelium we've ever grown out. We don't know if it's going to fruit yet, though. We got it from a guy in New Mexico. And every time we pour agar, Maureen likes to drop one little kernel of millet, which it's been dried out. It looks almost like nothing's going to ever happen, and we get this rich growth. We need to sharpen our scalpel blade. So it's the same process. 18 times we slice pie-sliced wedges of mycelial growth, put it in the jar, and that'll grow out in about a week and a half. This is a new process for us here. We've used a glass petri dish. We haven't done that before. And for some reason, the agar didn't really solidify in this dish. We don't know why. Might be the glass. The other thing that's new is we've got contamination off to the edge. There's some bacteria growing. So what Kagan's doing here is cutting out the good stuff and isolating it from the contamination. And you can see, I think we placed a wedge of hericium, and into the jar it goes, and then we can just throw away what's left over. After each transfer, you need to sterilize. So there's our wedges inside the jars, and the final procedure is to wash things up. It's the first time we've done this. We have glass so we can reuse it. A little soap and water, and it's a wrap.